Welcome to Inside the Park on FSPN, the weekly recap show for Miami-Dade and Broward High School baseball. I'm Uncle Muggs, and alongside me is the head coach of the Matter Academy Lions, Humberto Bencomo. Welcome, Coach, and thank you for filling in today.
Pleasure to be here, my man Muggs. This studio is so beautiful. I love it. I love all the hats, especially the one right here. Love this green. But yes, everything here is great. I love it.
Thank you, Coach. That really means a lot to me to hear that from you. It keeps me motivated to keep doing more and keep getting better. The caps came from Jesse at Belén, Coach Nieto at 2 North, and Coach Cuervo over at Palmer Trinity. They gave us some caps this week, and a shout out to them. What we do need is some caps from Broward County teams. So if you know any Broward County coaches, tell them to give me some caps.
You're going to need a bigger wall, Uncle Muggs. We're going to get you some of those caps from Broward County. I'm going to talk to some of those guys. What's up with that rooster?
You like my rooster?
See?
Well, it's a keepsake that I got from my trip to Key West, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later in the show. Today's show is brought to us by our good friends at Florida State Tentless Termite Treatment. You can forget about the hassle of tenting and evacuating your home. The tentless treatment means no disruption of your life. Florida State Tentless Solution is eco-friendly, pet-friendly, safe for your family, and targets termites where they live, deep inside your house. Call Florida State today and get your free inspection. They've been keeping Florida homes safe for over 25 years. Call 305-669-9292 and tell them that you heard this ad on FSPN and receive an extra 10% discount. Now it's time for the segment that Chappie does every week, and it's called the First Pitch Player Spotlight. Chappie couldn't be here personally today because he's in Egypt scouting for baseball players.
In Egypt? In the desert?
Well, yeah, that's what he said. He said he's looking in places where nobody goes.
In Egypt?
Hey, you never know, bro. He could find the next Shohei Ohtani over there by the pyramids or something.
I like that.
Whatever works for him. He did, however, send us some clips, and let's take a look at those clips right now.
First up on the First Pitch Player Spotlight. On the bump is Landy Garcia, who was very impressive on the day, tunneling his pitches and commanding a high spin rate curveball for strikes. Garcia, who is committed to the Catholic University of America, pitched well, but was edged out by his counterpart at LaSalle. At LaSalle, we had Alex Corzo. Corzo, who has a very strong, lean, and durable frame, showed out in this outing as he edged out the Gulliver Prep Raiders. He was 84, 83 on the mound with a very good curveball. Really excited for the LaSalle Royals as they continue on for their season. Moving our attention over to Hialeah is over at Matter Academy for a 2026 future college level athlete. At the game versus Archbishop McCarthy, Dylan Fernandez showed out, leading his team in the hit column with 2 extra base hits and another base hit, showing his gap-to-gap pop. This class of 2026 prospect has all the tools to be at the next level. Checking in on the Braddock Bulldogs and their hot start. And they're led by head coach Harold Martinez. And he rolled out, to me, the most underrated arm in the county. Jesus Moreno. His pitchability and his fiery attitude and that multi-arm slot is filthy. None other, he is still uncommitted, but this is a first pitch certified student athlete who will be off the board very soon. Last but not least, we want to shift our attention and stay in West Kendall. The Ferguson Falcons have been led by Alejandro Rosales, who is another first pitch certified student athlete, and he's looking to get advice into the next level. This kid is a very dynamic hitter, and he's led this Ferguson Falcons team for the last 2 years in almost every hitting category. Finally, I want to shout out another Ferguson Falcon, a senior who just committed to Luna Community College in Las Vegas. His name is Eric Leva. Congratulations to your family, your friends, and head coach Eddie Odobesa, and thank you for believing in our First Pitch advisory services.
Well, Coach, what did you think of that?
Yeah, that was some very good quality video he sent there. That is very good what he's doing for those kids. Keep it up, Chappie. Muggs, now it's time for the weekly recap. Who do you have for us?
Well, in the weekly recap, it's where we go over the teams and weekly scores on the games that took place in Miami-Dade and Broward County the previous week. I'm getting some messages from people asking us to talk about their team, and we'll try to do as many as we can. But with 80 teams in Dade County and 60 teams in Broward, it's not easy to get to everyone, you know.
We had some good inter-county games this week. It's always good when you play with those teams that are from Broward, West Palm, different area. It's always good to have those guys and play against them.
All right. You know what time it is.
¿Te vas a poner los guantes otra vez?
It's that time. Yes, sir. It's time to put on the gloves for the third week of the season. And on Monday, all Dade and Broward County games were rained out except for one. The Breezy Boys and the Flanagan Falcons managed to play the game, and that was won by West Broward 4-3. The winning pitcher in that game was Adrian Bermudez. Now, here's a team that we haven't talked about yet on FSPN. It's the Monsignor Pace Spartans that are led by their head coach Chuck Lyman and assistant coach Christian Gonzalez. Pace has been well known to have a very strong team over the past few years, winning their District 6 of the last 9 years with a state championship in 2018. This year, it's been business as usual for the Spartans, getting off to a 5-2 start after dropping their opener to Cardinal Newman. Pace has peeled off 4 in a row with wins over South Ridge, West Boca, Palmetto, and Sunset.
They beat some good quality teams, and they have very good pitching. The Spartans have 3 consecutive games coming up this week where they'll go and play Gulliver, University, and they'll play the Florida Christian Patriots. They'll play Briggy at Florida Christian.
Another team that we haven't talked about this season are the Miami Brito Panthers, led by their head coach, Pedro Guerra. And he's going into his 19th season there at Brito. It's been 10 years, though, since the Panthers won their state championship in 2015. And the two-time state champs are looking to find their winning ways again this year. Guerra's Panthers have 3 wins and 2 losses. On Wednesday, they faced the pesky J.C. Bermudez Thunder and lost 4-5. On Friday, the Panthers hosted the Schoolhouse Prep and lost in a heartbreaker 8-7 to the Wolfpack.
Next week, Brito will face off against Dade Christian and Terra.
Here's another fresh team to the recap show, the University Sharks, led by their head coach, Dan Brevetto. The Sharks are a perfect 7-0 on the season, beating San Andrews Scots in their season opener 15-2. Bam! Then they took care of the Community Seahawks. They beat the mighty True North Titans 11-5, and they also handed Gulliver a loss in the Nike tournament. Then they spanked the South Broward Bulldogs 10-3. Pow! And the Dr. Crop Lightning 13-3. Boom! On Thursday, the Sharks played the Marathon Dolphins on their way to Key West and beat them 9-0. Pow! In a tune-up in what should be a great 2-game series with the Conks this weekend. When the Sharks get to Key West this weekend, they're going to have to earn it in that environment against Key West Conks. It's never an easy place to play for the visitors. The Conks gave the University Sharks their first loss last night, 6-4. Toma.
Traveling to Key West and having to play Key West at their field is not an easy task. Muggs, you were there last Saturday, and that was a crazy game over there.
Well, first, let me tell you about the people there, because I was blown away by the people and how nice they are. Like Jack Niles and his brother Randy, even athletic director Andrew Freeman, who actually got on the air with me, and he helped me call the game. Then it was the legend himself, head coach Ralph Enriquez and his son Ralphie, that took me in from the very first minute of getting there. It felt like I was going to visit family. I had a great interview with head coach Enriquez, and the coach gave me a history lesson on the rich tradition of Key West baseball going all the way back to the 1950s. He's such a cool guy, and I can't wait to go back there to call another game for the Conks.
Tell me about the game, Muggs, because I know it was crazy.
Oh, no, the game was crazy. Chris Quadra and the Miami Christian Victors went down there, and they beat the Conks Friday night 5-4. But then on the Saturday night game that you can watch right here on FSPN, the Conks got off to a good start in the first inning when Roman Garcia hit a solo shot to deep left center field, and that gave the Conks the lead. The home team got 2 more runs in the second inning, and they were cruising. Then after a few bases on balls, a hit batter, the Conks gifted the visiting team a few more runs, making it 4-3 in favor of the visiting Victors in the 4th inning. And it stayed that way all the way to the bottom of the 7th. Miami Christian brought in their hard-throwing closer Contreras to try to shut the door. The Conks managed to get 2 runners on base with pinch hitter Jackson Bernhardt and Kate Maltz. And after an intentional walk to Sam Holland that loaded the bases with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, the Conks went looking for a hero, and they found one in shortstop Augie Davila. Davila delivered on a 3-2 count with a hit and scored the winning run in a made-for-Hollywood ending. Conch Nation went absolutely crazy. They went out of their minds after this game, and people were actually crying of emotion to this game. So please, everyone, try to watch this game. It's in our YouTube library. It will change your life.
The Conch Nation will have a chance to sweep the series against University this weekend, and that should be a great game tonight.
Two real Miami-Dade heavyweights faced off on Tuesday. Jesse's Belém Wolverines and the Doral Firebirds. This was a huge test for both teams, looking to take a seat at the table amongst Dade County's finest. The Firebirds sent their ace Marcelo Rodriguez to the mound, and he shut down Belém for 6 innings, allowing just 2 hits. Dylan Price, George Pardo, and Brian Mesa supplied the run support for the Firebirds that came away with a 6-0 victory. Le metieron 6 por la cabeza. Belém then took on the Sabres of San Brendan's the next day in a Miami private school matchup, and Belém lost a heartbreaker 4-3 in extra innings. And after starting the season with 3 straight victories, the Wolverines have dropped 4 in a row.
Belém will travel next week to Tampa and face off against a state powerhouse, Tampa Jesuit.
Briggy's Florida Christian Patriots took on the Palmetto Panthers on Tuesday, and they sent their lefty to the mound, Richard Piloto, and he threw a complete game shutout to earn the victory for Briggy's Patriots 1-0. Pow! Great job for the future pilot. Then on Wednesday, the Patriots hosted the South Dade Bucks and snuck past them 4-3. The Julio Mendoza-led Sunset Knights then came into Florida Christian Field to face off against the Patriots on Friday night, and the Briggy boys beat the Knights 14-4. 14 por la cabeza.
The Patriots will face off on a preview that could be a district preview. Madonna. They will face Belen and Coral Reef this upcoming week.
Mandy's Southwest Eagles hosted the Westminster Warriors on Tuesday, and Emil's Warriors were not very nice guests. They defeated the Eagles 12-2. Smack! 12 por la cabeza.
The Eagles have San Brendan and Varela coming up this week.
The ESPN Tuesday night game had Mo's Young Spartans traveling on the road to take on the Miami-Dade County heavyweight, the Mater Academy Lions. The Lions were coming back from a trip to Georgia where they lost 2 one-run games. The Spartans were feeling confident coming into this one after a big upset win last week over the Doral Firebirds. Southridge jumped out to a 3-1 lead, but it was Bencomo's led Lions that came back to edge out the Spartans 5-4. On the FSPN Thursday night game of the week, the 1-4 Mavericks of Archbishop McCarthy crossed the county line and came to Hialeah Gardens looking to snap a 3-game losing streak against the Mater Lions. The former state champs of 2017 Mavericks got a beatdown. Bam! The Lions were ready to make a statement against anyone that crosses the border. The Bats came alive in this one, and the Lions roared to a 11-5 victory over the Mavericks. Then on the Friday night FSPN game, the same Lions of Mater Academy hosted their second consecutive game in Hialeah against a team from Broward. This time it was the Juan Moore-led Panthers of Somerset Academy. The Panthers sent out junior lefty Kareem Amir, and Amir had the Lions silent for 7 innings, keeping them off balance with some nasty off-speed pitches. But in the Lions' den of Westland Gardens Park, the Lions came back in walk-off fashion with the bases-clearing double off the bat of Jonathan Espanda that blew the roof off of Hialeah Gardens. An unbelievable finish, and if you have high blood pressure, I don't recommend that you watch this game. But you can watch both of these games right here on FSPN's library of games on YouTube.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was a crazy week to me.
You're Lions. You got to stop doing that, Humberto. I can't go through too many of those 10-inning games and walk-off games and scoring 7 runs in the 6 innings. You know, I can't do that.
Muggs, you think I'm doing that on purpose?
The True North Titans went to visit another powerhouse team at the American Heritage Patriots in another test for the upstart Titans. True North got a taste of reality when the Patriots beat them 13-3. Mira, 13 por la cabeza. The Titans were looking to bounce back on Thursday at a home game against the Pinecrest Panthers. The Titans were down 4-2, and coming into the bottom of the 6th inning, they put up a 6 spot to earn the victory 8-5.
The Titans really showed some character after bouncing back after that loss.
And on Friday, the Adrian Nieto-led Titans took on RB Sosa's winless Gulliver Prep Raiders, and the Titans beat them 4-1, improving their record to 6-1, and Gulliver drops to 0-6.
Gulliver will be back. RB Sosa will have those guys with some wins, trust me.
I'm sure. The FSPN Wednesday night game that took place at St. Brendan's, where the host Sabres were looking to bounce back from Tuesday's defeat to the Miami Springs Hawks. The Sabres were looking to win over the Howard Cuervo-led Palmer Trinity Falcons that were 3-1 coming into this game. The Sabres had the crafty lefty on the bump, Henry Pereira. The southpaw threw 4 scoreless innings and no hit. The Sabres that ran away with the victory 8-1. The next day, St. Bees hosted a private school showdown against the Wolverines of Belém. The Sabres needed extra innings to defeat the Wolverines 4-3. Despite another multiple hit game by sophomore Jake Cueto, the Sabres held on to win behind Giancarlo Guzman Garcia's 2 shutout innings, and the Sabres improved to 6-3.
The Sabres will go and play in California next month, and they will play some very good competition in the West Coast.
Coach, this 2025 season has already had some incredible games, and I can't believe we have 30 games left to watch right here on FSPN, and I'm so looking forward to it.
A lot of great baseball to come.
Coach, I can't take too many of those crazy games that you're having out there. You know, I have high cholesterol.
You mean high blood pressure?
Yeah, I have that too, I think.
Tienes que tomarte la pastillita antes del juego.
I'm going to have to do that. Now it's time for that ever-popular segment on the show called The Coach's Corner.
I can't wait. I hope it's a good one. Who do you have?
Well, you got to stay tuned and watch. It's only one more commercial. But please subscribe, everyone. Follow us on Instagram for our upcoming events. Stay tuned for The Coach's Corner right here on Inside the Park.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Welcome to Inside the Park, the weekly recap show for South Florida high school baseball, and it's time for that ever-popular segment called The Coach's Corner. The Coach's Corner is brought to you by the Actual Coach's Corner, a complete printing service, not only for printing, they do caps, uniforms, promotional items as well. Please give them a call for all of your printing needs. Our guest today has been in the big leagues as a catcher. He went to American Heritage, and he has been at his current school for over 4 years, and his team right now is the talk of the town. Our guest today is, drumroll, head coach of the True North Titans, Adrian Nieto. Welcome to the Coach's Corner, buddy.
Appreciate it, Bucks, man. Really appreciate what you guys doing out here for the boys, and appreciate you coming out to True North.
Well, we love it. That's why we do it. So, Coach, first of all, I want to congratulate you on a a fabulous start to the season.
Yeah, it's been exciting, man. It's what I envisioned this year. Obviously, the schedule we put on there for a reason. It's fun to play against the best.
All right, before we get into this year's team, give us your baseball journey and how you ended up here at True North Academy.
Pretty funny. I ended up here, man. I stopped playing baseball after the pandemic. I decided to start doing lessons. And funny enough, one of the parents that I coached, he knew that I wanted to get on the field and coach, so he reached out to a good friend of his, which is Sean Ramirez, our AD, and asked him if he started the program. And he said, no, I haven't found the right guy. He told me, well, I found the right guy for you. And the very next day we met, and we hit it off, and it felt good, and I had a good feeling about it. And the rest is history.
All right, but back up. Tell us about the big league stuff, because I got a lot of kids out there that want to be in the big leagues. Tell us about that whole experience.
Well, it's everything they say. It's one of those things that all the emotions comes in. So that's why I tell these kids out here, especially in Miami-Dade, it's worth it. All the sacrifices you're making, your parents are making. It's definitely a dream come true. And like I said, they call it the show for a reason. So like I said, always keep going. Never take a no for an answer. If I can do it, why can't you? So go for it, reach for your dreams, man, because it's all worth it, and your family and your parents definitely deserve that.
Nice. You hear that, folks? That's an inspiration to everybody out there, high schoolers, college players, everybody. Don't quit. All right, let's talk about what's going on right now in this season with your team. You guys are red hot. You started off with a 1-0 victory over arguably one of the best teams in all of South Florida and even the nation. Tell us about that game, and did you really expect to beat the 4-time defending champion Douglas Eagles?
Man, that's a game that obviously we had circled, on our schedule. I'll be lying to you if we didn't. The boys were well prepared, and I think, we could, to beat those guys up there, what they do, and, obviously being coached by Coach Fitz, my former high school coach. It's one of those where you had to play perfect baseball. I think we definitely did that.
It's not an easy place to play, and it's not an easy place to win. So the very next week, you took on another defending state champion, the Chiefs of Cardinal Gibbons, and you beat them 3-2, and then beat another quality team in St. Thomas Aquinas. Be honest, do you expect to beat those two teams?
I'll be lying to you if I said I didn't. You make the schedule, and obviously I'll be lying to you if you don't think you can go 25-0. But that's why the game is played. The boys played well. We saw some great arms from Cardinal Gibbons. Great bats by St. Thomas Aquinas. It's a tough place to play. So it's exciting, man. It's obviously, it's part of the experience that I want these kids to have once they leave high school. They can always come back and talk about those games.
Yeah, there's some good quality wins up there. So let's talk about, the power rankings. And everybody talks about power rankings, but compare power rankings to your strength of schedule. What's your take on that?
Well, I think Max Preston, FHA-SA, has obviously, gotten it, I don't know if it's the right word is right, but I think it's better than when it was when I was in high school. I think it should be taken into consideration who you're up against. You can play a cupcake schedule and you're 20-5, and it just doesn't, it's not fair to the teams that are facing off against, nationally ranked teams, state champions, and whatnot. So I think they're heading on the right track. So I think they're doing it right, better than it was when I was in high school for sure.
I looked at your schedule. The first week or two were amazing, but as I kept scrolling down, you still have some amazing powerhouse teams. You still have to play Tampa Jesuit, Cardinal Gibbons, and John Carroll. They're still on the schedule. What can we look forward to in those games and in your Titans the remainder of this season?
Well, a lot of good games. Obviously, these guys will definitely be, battle tested. We got St. John Union coming up this coming week up there, and then the following night, Friday night, we go and play Venice. So it's gonna be interesting. And obviously, I make the schedule just to prepare these boys, for a deep playoff run and be tested on the road if we have to go out. Just play somebody out one of these tough places.
Between me and you, nobody else is listening. Do I make reservations in Fort Myers?
Don't put that pressure on me, man. At the end of the day, we try to tell the boys, take it day by day, game by game, and if you can, control them, the odds will be in your favor. And we just got to get on that bus. If we get on the bus, we'll figure it out when we get up there.
I know you guys aren't an upstart program, but by any means, but just recently, the last couple of years, you've been on everybody's radar. Any advice that you have for coaches that are like in their second and third year of a program?
Just make sure, don't forget you were a player once. I don't think none of these kids put on a uniform and try to play bad on purpose. Like I tell my boys, being, a good teammate is understanding we're all going to have good and bad days. And do it for them. At the end of the day, this is about them. Our book is closed. We're not playing baseball anymore. It's about them because you only get one chance at this. So why not give the boys a good experience in high school for sure. And if you're going to do it for the right reasons. At the end of the day, if you want to build good young men, it goes beyond baseball for sure.
It's more than that, correct?
Yeah.
So, Coach, we have a fun segment on the show. It's called the Change-Up, and it's where we ask you 3 questions that have absolutely nothing to do with baseball in a way for our audience and your fans to get to know you a little bit better. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, first question. Is Coach Nieto a Starbucks guy, Dunkin' Donuts, or do you do the cafecito in the window?
I'm 2 of those. Starbucks early in the morning, and then I do a cafecito at about 10 a.m.
So you double dipping?
Yes, sir. A lot of coffee right here.
Wow. Man, okay, I don't want to be around you, man. All right, when you're not coaching and it's not baseball season and you just want to chill, what is Coach Nieto's favorite vacation destination?
Can't go wrong with DR, honestly. Played out there a couple times, so there's some spots there that I know that are good. It's a good spot to go.
I see what you're doing. You like the beach, and you're going to go scout some players in the Dominican, right? All right. All right, this one I think everybody gets stumped on, but what is head coach's favorite restaurant and why? What do you eat when you go there?
Man, my mom's going to kill me for this one. I don't say her, but,
This is a restaurant.
It's a restaurant,
yeah.
It's a restaurant. But she's always, every time we take her out, it's always like, I feel better than this, So old school Cuban lady, of course. I gotta go, honestly, probably just a sleeper on a lot of people. Jay Alexander's is a good spot.
Okay, I like that.
That's good.
What do you get when you go there?
Steak, for sure.
The filet mignon or the T-bone?
With the fries.
Man,
Yes, sir. And then carrot cake. Very underrated there.
Man, you're making me hungry, Adrian. Okay, buddy, thanks for being such a great sport. Thanks for taking your time. And if you didn't know him before, you know him now. He likes his steaks on the beach and 2 cafecitos. And this is Adrian Nieto, the head coach of the True North Titans. Thanks for watching Inside the Park. Remember, tune in every Sunday and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram. This is Uncle Mark saying goodbye, and I'll see you next time inside the park. Awesome. First take.